If a stunt double is doing their job right, you never see their face. That was certainly the case with Lady Deadpool, but even though you may not have seen the performer under the mask, you've definitely seen her work. While Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman may have been the stars of Deadpool and Wolverine, some of the smaller roles and cameos occasionally stole the show. The finale of the movie introduced a flurry of Deadpool variants, a ragtag group led by Lady Deadpool, a female version of the anti-hero voiced by none other than Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively. However, the part was physically portrayed by Australian stunt performer Christiane Bettridge. Despite being relatively new to the movie industry, Bettridge has already established herself in Hollywood, and there's a good chance she's appeared in several films you've seen.
Let's give the people what they came for!
Although Bettridge is now known for her stunt work, she hasn't always worked in the movie industry. In fact, long before she became a stunt performer, Bettridge actually had a varied career working in several different fields. Her 2013 bio on a modeling agency website states that she worked as a dancer before the age of 22, in addition to landing some gigs as a model in her travels around Europe and Asia. And it's clear that Bettridge was not just an average dancer. Having grown up with a background in ballet, Bettridge's first career saw her make use of her dancing skills, and she continued to develop as a dancer by performing professionally in Australia and expanding into other dance styles such as cabaret and contemporary. She eventually began to land some pretty prestigious jobs around the world. Bettridge performed as part of a burlesque and cabaret show in Paris, and also as a dancer in the world-famous Moulin Rouge show. Bettridge may have danced her way across half the globe at the beginning of her career, but her biggest break came when she got the opportunity to head to Themyscira and join the stunt team for 2017's Wonder Woman. Under the name Christiane Schodel, she worked alongside more than 200 people who were involved in stunts for the spectacle-driven film. Bettridge actually had 2 different credits in the film, acting as a stunt double for both Connie Nielsen, who played the Amazonian queen Hippolyta, and Gal Gadot herself as Wonder Woman. The movie is one of the few entries in the DC Extended Universe that found both commercial and critical success, grossing over $800 million at the box office. In an interview with Scholastic, Bettridge explained that she had loved superheroes growing up and had a particular affinity with Wonder Woman, making it something of a dream come true to be able to play the character. She said, "I was a big fan of Wonder Woman when I was a kid. I love that I get to pretend to be someone that I grew up wanting to be." For their work on Wonder Woman, the stunt department received a 2018 Screen Actors Guild Award, although it was an honor she shared with the entire stunt department.
I mean, Wonder Woman will always just have a, place in my heart.
Wonder Woman wasn't the last time Bettridge doubled for Gal Gadot, and it certainly wasn't the last time she helped portray Wonder Woman on the big screen. She returned to the role in 2017 for Justice League, and doubled for Gadot again 3 years later in Wonder Woman 1984. Now that the DC Extended Universe is rebooting, Bettridge likely won't have any more opportunities to double for Gadot as Wonder Woman, but that doesn't mean that the actor and stunt performer will no longer work together. Bettridge has since acted as stunt double for Gadot in 2 Netflix movies, 2021's Red Notice alongside Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds, as well as the 2023 film Heart of Stone. Both films put Gadot's characters at the center of multiple action scenes, which meant Bettridge had plenty to do.
On it.
As part of a hashtag celebrating women, Gadot posted a behind-the-scenes image of herself and Bettridge. Accompanying the photo was a message praising the stunt performer for her work. A nice touch, given how dangerous the job can be. Gadot wrote on Instagram, "She's been with me since the first Wonder Woman, and I know we have a long future together. She's always there by my side, making sure I'm safe and at the same time taking the punches and getting thrown against walls. She's a mother, an athlete, and her movements are unlike anything I've seen before in a stunt performer." One of the more recent films that Bettridge has worked on is 2023's Locked In. The Netflix-exclusive psychological thriller is largely told through the use of flashbacks, as a hospital nurse tries to help a patient recover from what is initially thought to be a coma, but is actually revealed to be locked-in syndrome. The nurse works with the woman, played by Famke Janssen, to bring her out of her paralysis and uncover both the events that led to her injury and her family's dark pasts. This was the first time that Bettridge had worked as a stunt double for someone other than Gal Gadot since the release of Wonder Woman in 2017, doubling this time for Janssen, a person suffering from locked-in syndrome who can't move anything but their eyes. Sounds like a part that doesn't require much stunt work, but without getting into any spoilers for the movie in case you want to watch it, there are a few pivotal scenes where Bettridge had a chance to ply her trade. Although most of her stunt work has of course been done in service of DC, Bettridge has also crossed the street to work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvels, a sequel to 2019's Captain Marvel, continued to follow Brie Larson as Carol Danvers on an all-new adventure with plenty of fights and wire work along the way. Unlike most of her other roles, Bettridge isn't credited as a stunt double for any particular actor. Instead, she's listed in a more general sense as a stunt performer. While the role of stunt double and stunt performer can be used interchangeably for the same position, it is likely here that Bettridge was not substituting solely for a single character, but rather taking part in stunts for different actors when needed. Bettridge worked alongside noted performers such as Matthew Bell and Marvin Campbell in the stunt department, as well as frequent Brie Larson stunt double Joanna Bennett. It turns out that a past in dancing and sport gave Bettridge a big leg up for her current career as a stunt performer. Bettridge detailed to Scholastic how her former jobs have given her the tools to succeed in the world of Hollywood. In particular, she credited her time spent learning complex dances as an invaluable aid to her in learning fight scenes. It makes sense, after all. Both activities involve carefully choreographed routines that have to be followed exactly to ensure the timing is perfect.
Confronting the idea of training 25, 30 women to become Amazons, the bar is extraordinarily high.
Many stunt performers used to be athletes, but being a former dancer helped me. Every fight and stunt is choreographed or planned out step by step. I master the moves quickly because I spent so many years learning dance routines. Bettridge also outlined some of the ways that she and her colleagues have to work hard when training with weapons like swords, and that her physical fitness from spending so much time in the gym when she was younger was a big help in these instances. Bettridge went on to give words of encouragement to any youngsters who might be going through similar training, explaining that it instills useful skills for many careers. She added, "You don't have to be an athlete or dancer forever, but training and working hard now will show you that you can do anything." Long before Wonder Woman and the beginning of her stretch doubling for Gal Gadot, Bettridge's first credited stunt role was in the sci-fi series Hunters. The television show follows a group known as the Exoterrorism Unit, a secretive government organization that works to track down and eliminate a race of aliens that have invaded Earth and live among its people. It ran for just a single season of 13 episodes before it was brought to a premature end. Bettridge acted as a stunt double for the character Regan, played by Brittany Olford, in 3 2016 episodes. Regan is a hunter in disguise, and she often finds herself in compromising situations, which gave Bettridge plenty of opportunities to show off her stunt capabilities. She next appeared in the Netflix show Mako Mermaids, a spin-off of H2O Just Add Water. Bettridge is credited for utility stunts. While it isn't clear exactly what Bettridge contributed, she was part of a 27-person stunt team that included a number of safety divers and swimmers. Unlike many of the stunt performers, though, Bettridge is only credited in a single episode of the series. Even if you are completely unaware of Bettridge as a stunt performer, there's still a small chance you may have seen her online. Her Instagram is active and has over 20,000 followers, with Bettridge not only providing a behind-the-scenes look at some of her work in Hollywood movies, but also sharing other aspects of her life. Many of these posts include videos and images showing how she stays in shape and gets in condition to carry out her demanding stunts. Her routines range from workouts to hikes up mountain trails and forests. Bettridge is so passionate about keeping fit and staying in shape that she's launching her own on-demand personal training service that will be available through an app. According to Bettridge, the service will benefit from her years of experience, not only working in stunts, but also as a former dancer and athlete. She has previously received instruction in a wide variety of skills that includes everything from martial arts to riding jet skis. She's also certified as a scuba diver and trained in the use of several types of weapons, seemingly giving her plenty of experience with which to teach a well-rounded approach to fitness. If you keep up with the stunt industry, you probably know Bettridge on her own merits, but you might also be familiar with her due to her relationship with stunt performer and actor Andy Lister. The two have been in a relationship for several years, with Lister proposing to Bettridge in 2023, and the pair regularly post pictures together on social media as they travel around the world. They have also worked together on a number of films. He worked as a fight trainer for Wonder Woman 1984 and was also involved in The Marvels, on which he was credited as the assistant fight coordinator. One of Lister's recent gigs found him collaborating with Bettridge again, as he was the assistant stunt coordinator for Deadpool and Wolverine, working to choreograph some of the fight scenes in the film as well as performing in them. For example, he plays one of the TVA agents who battled Deadpool early in the movie. With the character as popular as Wonder Woman under her belt, and given her long collaboration with Gal Gadot, it's no surprise that Bettridge has more work on the way. Her IMDb page lists the upcoming Netflix film The Old Guard 2 as her next project. The first one was heavy on the action, so the sequel is no doubt the perfect opportunity to flex her skills. She'll be doubling for Uma Thurman. And although it's not listed on her upcoming credits, Bettridge recently shared the trailer for Disney's upcoming live-action remake of Snow White, in which Gadot is appearing as the evil queen. While there's no word yet on whether Bettridge is involved with the stunts, given her history doubling for Gadot, it's certainly a possibility. We'll have to wait and find out.